Okay. I am here. I don't know if anybody else is here, but I am here. Hello, everybody who's here, who's not here, who's going to be here, who's showing up later to watch. Let me check my pocket. There it is. I have to get the I have to get the filthy, dirty mic. Look at this. I show you guys this every time. Look at that. This is after hours of work. This is the new pair I'm going to replace them with. Hey, Linda. Hey, Artemisian. Hey, Tammy. Oh, I'm glad you got your package. I have news. Oh, I haven't got a lot of news. Oh, wait. I don't know if you can tell by the different color on the sleeve, but this is a nice, these are the same brand. I don't know if they're the same brand or not. I like this brand better. I now have 5 gloves. I'm starting a new quilt, so I thought I would put a new pair of gloves on today. Oh, sewing for your aunt today. Oh, that's nice. So how is everyone? I got a couple. Okay. I'm gonna be babbling, but then I'm gonna be setting into work. So, oh yeah. Okay, Sassy Dragons. Sassy Dragons is done. It finished at. Let me go double check. I'm still like, ugh. I've got almost like this. I don't know what you want to call it, a blind spot. It's like, nope. If I think too much about it, I'm gonna like. What did it finish at? It finished at $91,669. So it ended with a 6.9. We've just been sitting around all weekend since it closed, going like, I can't believe it. It went really, really well. We are super. My pledge was collected during Glitter and Gators. Yeah, it closed over the weekend, which was amazing. We had the was goodness. We was gonna do a live thanking everybody and doing a thing, and then Lisa's not feeling well. She took Monday and Tuesday off of work. She wasn't feeling well, so that's a thing. Because we were gonna do, like I said, we had I call it the was goodness. Well, I was gonna do this, but it didn't happen, right? So we had the was goodness, and was gonna come on and do some sort of a live as a wrap party, I guess, and a thank you and a whatever. I am just sorting some of this a little bit, like I've got all blue together, right? Actually, I don't have to worry about that. I'm just gonna do it as I get to it. There's a way to shuffle. There's a way to shuffle fabric. All I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sew. I'll sew, and then if I end up pulling out, like there's a duplicate, right? If I end up pulling out a duplicate too close together, you can see it on the little tiny corner camera. If I pull a duplicate too close together, I can just put that in another and create another pile, and then just order. See, if I don't want these two to be too close together, then I'll just throw that one over there, grab it later. Anyway, we had the was going to do a wrap party. And then Lisa might be able to hear it. I am starting a quilt. I have been putting this off forever and ever and ever. I've been wanting to do this for a while now. These two are identical. See, the thing is, I can go along for a while. Let me just get on the other camera. So I'm just tossing these in a second pile, right? And I do not have to do the whole thing, but if I'm like, oh, I just had, I didn't, but if I'm like, oh, I just had one of these, I got two identical, right? So instead of agonizing, I'm just going to start a second pile up there. Anyway, I'm starting a quilt. So yeah, so Lisa hasn't been feeling very well. So we had a couple of plans to come on and do like a wrap party, and we couldn't just because, you know, it's not, she's got laryngitis. So that was the biggest issue that she's dealing with. So what I'm doing is what this is going to look like when it's done. It's going to be one here. Like this is pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to care about what's upright and what's upside down. So it's just going to be squares. But then what the next square is going to be is like that. And then just take random pieces. Da 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 da. And I might, like, even though that's got color in it, it's still really dark. So I might. No, I probably won't care. So that's the pattern that I'm going for. And I've got this pile here of the squares. I get this pile here of black. So I'm gonna do that as a pattern until I run out. And then I'm gonna switch up. I've got a slightly bigger size and I got a bigger size. So I'm gonna do, I haven't decided exactly how it's gonna look yet, but so I'm gonna do the same design. I'm gonna make squares with the same design, and I may just, I'm hoping to have this done up with the same idea, black surrounded by multicolor, larger squares as a band through the center, and then medium squares as either a band all the way around. I'm not quite sure how it's going to look yet. I want to get the scraps used up. When you're doing scrappy quilting, you got to kind of commit to a certain amount of, like, if I take one of these and then take these squares and go along, they're not going to line up properly. So the ends may, it's going to be intentionally messy. That's the punchline. But anyway, that's what I'm working on today. I do not have to sort this entire pile. That's when you know what I'm doing. So anyway, I'm just going to babble for a bit. I haven't been on for a bit. I was going to come on. I again had the was going to come on yesterday. And yes, I've got a bunch of these blue. So they're going to go over there. That's another identical. Oh, I can keep the brown one though. There's no rule that says you have to do this in advance. I just find that if I stop and do a bit at a time, or at least until I'm like in the swing. Yeah, this is the same color as that. If I do a bit for a while, then I can go and get a bunch done. No, it's not. It's not for a. Oh, thanks. It's nice to know you've been missed. I missed you guys too, but I didn't want to come on yesterday while Lisa's like hacking and coughing. That's not very fair to her. Those are all the same. And again, I'm just dropping them up here. They're not going too far just yet. But anyway, so yeah, we haven't. I didn't make it on last week because wrapping up the campaign. By the way, okay, so Sassy Dragon update. The production order. Okay, now I've got red, but I've got red there, so I'm going to drop that one. Sassy Dragon update. Oh, man, 2 different shades of orange. See, I'm not sure about the black will be fine. I don't care. That pink is already there. Got a little witch's hat. There's no rule how you have to sort these out, so... Sometimes I end up doing through. No, that can go there. I can have one fabric that's a little bit overrepresented. When you're working with blocks that are this tiny, it won't matter. So yeah, I didn't go on at all last week because we were busy with just wrapping up the production stuff on Sassy Dragon, which, by the way, the order has already been made. Yeah. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Artemisian says, I figured you need a breather after Sassy Dragon Madness. Yeah, like last week was just me keeping everything mellow around the house for Lisa, because she's doing all the logistical work, like all of it, right? So me keeping life quiet, and not quiet, I don't know how to describe it, but anyway. So last week it's like I'm not gonna try and go live. Last week we were planning for a wrap party, which we ended up having to put off because Lisa, and of course it's not her fault, but she wasn't feeling well. So that happened. And then Monday and Tuesday I couldn't come on because she wasn't feeling well. And again, no wrap party because that happened. That can go up there. That can go there. I already have to do that. So anyway, yeah, so Sassy Dragon is done and the production order has been placed. The decks are going to be, I'll put that back there. The decks have already been ordered. We put the production order in a few days ago, which was another reason why it's like, oh, I'm staying I am just going to do my thing. So the other bit of news, my brain is not working today. Yeah, so that is the first part. Oh, hey, Gail, hey, Blue, hey, whoever else came in that I missed. I'm sorting fabric because, that's exciting. I'm just making sure my little piles here are a little bit more random than they initially were. That can go to the bottom. I kind of tend to be a get it all done at once person when it comes to this, because it's easier to remember if you had duplicates and stuff. Anyway, I'm just doing this. This is gonna be random. I'm just making sure that it's a little bit more randomized than it was, because I had several fibers together. So, production order has been placed for Sassy Dragon, which means that if we get lucky, it should be shipping by the, what did Lisa say, end of January? Should be shipping by then. Shipping by the end of January, showing up by the end of February. So that's the hopeful goal. That is the hopeful goal. So that's, and again, oh my God, there's always a lot, not always, but there's quite often cancellations and stuff that come in at the last minute as people, it's getting closer to billing day. People look at the money and we're like, oh, there's going to be some cancellations. It's going to be fine. Oh, no, that's okay, because we're happy, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like comes in, it's just slightly over 90,000. It's like, and the number ended with a 69. Yeah, so far it's been pretty smooth. Really nice. Anyway, once I get this sort of sorted. La 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 la. Oh, that can go there, that can go there. That can go there. That can go there. I don't care if it's perfect. I don't care if it's perfect. I just don't want like 5 or 6 of these ones too close together. They're going to be close together. There's nothing you can do to stop it. I just want to. I'm not expecting it to be perfect. I'm just hoping to minimize it. There we go. That one. That's a darker one. So, yeah, Will it go in the shop? My friend will want, but wait. Oh, the Lisa's Etsy shop? Yes, both decks are going into the Etsy shop. We're not sure when or how that's going to look. Okay, we did order, because if I could talk properly, that would make some sense. Because the campaign did so well, we were definitely able to get extra decks. There will be decks available in Lisa's Etsy shop. No promises on. Okay, the deck will come in probably within about. Yeah, imperfection is part of the charm. There's certain quilts that require you to be very specific in your designs. This is not one of them. The decks will be available. Both decks will be available through Lisa's Etsy shop. We're guessing that by the time the logistics are all taken care of, probably 6-8 weeks after, because obviously we're the number one priority is to make sure all the backers get their decks, and that they get them in a timely manner, yada, yada, yada. So we're not going to put, we're going to make sure, we're going to prioritize that first. And then we will swing back once everybody's gotten their decks and we've confirmed that everybody's happy. You know, you just wait for a bit and make sure there's not going to be any complaints, problems, or issues, because that's the last thing you want to have happen. And then probably maybe month, 2 months after that. Well, by the time everybody has a chance to get their decks, it'll probably be 1 to 2 months. Oh, I think I got them all. Okay. I have no idea how much this is going to give me. There. Okay. That's the first pile. This pile is just black. There are different types of black. This one's got a lot of brown tones. This one's just a cute little whatever. I will sort this pile as I go. It's not that big of a deal. So, oh, there's some of these. So when I'm doing these ones, but I'm doing okay, there's going to be eight of the colorful ones to one of these ones. So I don't really care. I don't really care how this turns out, because if I have any issues, I can obviously rearrange these before I start putting them all together. Yeah, a Lisa deck and a Peggy deck. Oh my God, it is so crazy how that worked. So has anybody heard about the Canadian postal strike yet? That's the next big piece of news. My shop is on vacation mode. My shop, okay. Lisa's decks are shipping out of a fulfillment center because with the decks and the way they work, we were able to put them in a U.S. fulfillment center to keep the shipping costs down, because shipping from Canada is fucking crazy if you're shipping anything big. Oh, hey, Free Spirit. Okay, so shipping from Canada is crazy. And stop. Now, I'm gonna put my stitch length. When I get to the bigger ones, I may not care so much, but I'm gonna put my stitch length closer together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do these. For every 2 of these, I need 1 of these. I think what I'm going to do, I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, I got to do that. I don't want to build. Okay, there's a way to do it. Let me just think for 1 second. There's a way to do it where you put 2 together. I'm not going to agonize because I'm going to fuck it up. So basically, I've got 1 piece that I'm going to do like this, where there's 3. Hey, if I could get the camera lined up. Okay, so one is going to be 3 like that, right? I need 2 of these for every 1 where I go black in the center. So I need 2 of those. No, I don't. Okay. For the first one, my first block is going to look like this, right? That's my first block. Every block after that is going to be, okay, so I do these, right? Then I do that and just connect it to the back of it and connect it. So I need 2. I don't do piecing unless I just don't do piecing. I do not do piecing. So it's not the end of the world, but I need to I found out that I have a piecing foot. Okay. Yeah, how's everyone else? I'm just babbling about my stuff. Okay, so there is a postal strike. I'll just go on about my stuff. You guys feel free to chat. My God, I'm like distractible and weird today. There is a Canada Post strike ongoing right now. The Canada Post strike has been brewing for a year. So long story short, I went ahead and put my shop on vacation mode until the strike is over. It looks like we're going into Christmas, and it looks like the strike isn't going to be ending anytime soon. But anyway, I don't really care. The good news with my shop is, as much as it's been nice to make the extra money, we don't rely on it. So I'm not panicking. So just keep in mind, like I said, let me see what I got going on here. There we go. So keep in mind, okay, so for starters, I am not agonizing about what's upright and what's upside down. If I have two pieces of fabric going in two different directions, I don't care. So that's going to make my life a lot easier. So what I'm going to do, how did I have to do that before? There we go. I did not know I am all over the map today. So I don't need a piecing foot for my I don't need a piecing foot for my Canada Post is our national postal service, by the way. So Canada Post is currently on strike. So what's happening with Canada Post is that this strike has been brewing for about a year. They went on strike they've been on strike for 8 days now, which is fine. Several things are happening all at once. I've gone ahead and I can only ship through Canada Post because the way that rates. Oh, hey Stevie. So the way that postal rates in Canada work is the size of packaging I send. The only way that I can afford to send it is through Canada Post. Because for me to send a package through FedEx, UPS, or something like that, it would cost me like $35 to send a single bag across Canada. The way Etsy works, you can't turn off Canada. There are services where I could get a package down to the US and ship to the US, but it doesn't do me any good if I have to, according to Etsy rule. I have to ship to Canada. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. So with any online business, shipping is always an issue with any online business. What are the logistics, right? What's that look like? So the strike has escalated. So basically, I'm trying to say 16 things all at the same time. So basically what ended up happening, strike has escalated. And they appointed a special mediator to see what the common ground was and to build on it from there. The special mediator just announced, the sides are way too far apart to reach a resolution anytime soon. The government has already stated that they will not get involved, period. There's just not enough support to, they can do what's called a back to work order. The Canadian law allows for this, a back to work order, where they say this is a vital service, so you guys have to go back to work, and we're going to appoint a special mediator for binding arbitration, which means that which basically means we're gonna force you guys back to work. We're going to appoint a mediator who is going to help decide what the middle ground is, and then everybody's bound for it. They've already decided that they're not doing that anyway. So we got a whole bunch of stuff happening all at the same time. It's a perfect storm, really, is what it is. Anybody who ships. Yeah, negotiations are paused at the moment because the mediator said they are not making any progress. Yeah, and the thing is that the special mediator that they appointed was supposed to come in there and find common ground so they could make progress. Anyway, from my perspective, what I'm looking at is for every 1 day of strike, it's okay because we're also going into the Christmas season where starting at about December 1st, which is like 4 days away, starting December 1st, post office wait times to get to get a delivery pretty much double. And now even you guys outside of Canada are going to notice that, right? Seasonal shipping delays. shipping delays during the holiday season. It's a thing, right? Okay, so I'm going to do this. How many did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 10. That's perfect. Okay. So I'm just going to do these in like sets. I need several sets that are 3 inches tall. Working overtime here to make some more money for the holidays. Oh yeah. Well, I'm not making any money this holiday. I'm still sewing for the shop, and I'm having a distractible day. So basically, okay. So I'm just finger pressing these. I'm not agonizing too much. This is, if you are making a quilt that you are really, really invested in making sure that these are perfect, then this might be a good opportunity. I'm not even going to unsew these. This might be a good opportunity for you to take and sew them, but I'm just going to finger press them, because if things end up a tiny bit wonky, I'm not going to care. Is this a scrap quilt? If you're thinking about starting your very first quilting project, one of the tricks of quilting, one of the many tricks of quilting, is you need to decide up front what you're doing. If I end up doing these, I want these to line up. I want these to line up perfectly, right? But if they don't, like I said, this is a scrappy quilt. So if they don't, I'm not going to care. If it matters to you, then this is where you may want to take the time to take a little time to iron. And okay, you don't have to iron at this point because I'm sewing something onto the other side, right? But if it matters to you, lots and lots of ironing is helpful. Okay, anyway, so we're already moving into seasonal shipping delays. Canada Post has already got a screaming ton of stuff that's already locked up in the system, right? So now I need this to be 3 wide. By the way, there's no way I'm getting this done today. We're just chatting while I sew squares up. So we're already moving into regular seasonal delays. There's already a bunch of mail in the system that they're going to have to prioritize getting that caught up. Where'd my thing go? Do I have another one? Where's my other one? There it is. These little stitch leaders can be great. These little stitch leaders can be great because it can keep you from, you can either put it just behind the needle to hold your needle up where you want it to be, or you can let the needle catch it at the edge for 1 or 2 stitches. But for me, it keeps the needle from shoving these little teeny tiny light corners into the machine. Anyway, I've got nothing better to do than to tell the long version of the story today. So that's something else. It's not some big major drama. So no, the number one punchline of my story. Let's start with the punchline. I am perfectly fine. Like there was no planning for this, but obviously we are going to make some money that goes into our pocket over the Sassy Dragon, right? We can afford to live our life without any income from the shop at all. So that part's nice. So we are financially, we are totally fine. Financially, we're totally fine, and financially, we can afford to shut the shop down short term for like the next several months if we need to. So I made the decision that the Etsy shop, I'm going to close it for all of December, because it looks like this strike isn't going anywhere. It looks like the strike isn't going to end anytime soon. I can't afford to ship through other options. I can afford to ship outside of Canada through other options. Well, I can afford to ship. I don't know. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't want a black. I don't want a red on a red. I'll take that one. I don't know what that's going to end up ultimately looking like, but because we already know. Anybody in Canada already knows that our costs for postage are already going to go up by the time this strike is over. But I've got lots of time to sort out what I'm going to do, because I can afford to wait. And 2 things are happening. Well, 200 things are happening. Anybody who can go to anybody who can't afford to close their shops, their online businesses are flooding the other services. There's a service called Chit Chats that I could be using to, at the very least, and again, I have to by law ship to Canada because Etsy requires me to ship to Canada. So I can't turn that off, which means that it's already a problem. Anyway, other services, FedEx, UPS, Purelator, all of them have seen like, yeah, keep your shop simple. If shipping is too complicated, it'll be understandable to close shop until the matter says exactly. And I can afford to do that. I can afford to do that. And if anything comes up, we are profiting. Like, you know, we're not going to be building ourselves a McMansion here, but we have some profit from the Sassy Dragon. Like talk about the universe taking care of us, right? So the Sassy Dragon is done, and it's like, well, you know what? There's going to be a little extra money from the Sassy Dragon. There's going to be more than we expected because the project went so well. If we are stuck with some sort of a bill if we have an unanticipated bill, we still won't need to rely on the Etsy shop to help pay for that. So I'm just shutting down till the strike's over. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay shut down I am shutting down for all of December. I'm shutting down for all of December because December is my quietest month to begin with. You know, because pagan Christmas is, you know, on Halloween. October seems to be one of my busiest months. Anyway, so I'm actually having to concentrate. This is what's screwing me up today. I actually have to pay attention to what I'm doing so that I have my nice, the straighter the lines are, the straighter that stitch is, the straighter that line is, the better luck you're going to have matching up those corners when you're all done. Anyway, how long have I made this story? I came on half an hour ago. So I'm going to shut down for all of December. Every single other service. And I run an Etsy group with like 9,000 people in it, by the way, for Etsy Canada, for people selling on Etsy who are in Canada. It's going, all the other shipping services are going crazy, with most of them seeing their business doubling. Because anybody who ships on, shipping online isn't just an Etsy thing. So every other courier, packet service, whatever, is seeing a doubling of their business. That's going to be a shit show as well. Those businesses are going to be a shit show. So it's like, I'm going to wait for, even if the strike ends tomorrow, I'm taking December off. That's the punchline. Because anybody like me who's stuck, anybody like me who can't, I can, but I shouldn't. I should not go to other shipping methods, because for me, for the size of packets. Hey, Marion, how you doing? Oh, thank you. Congratulations on yours too. Marion's deck funded. Oh no, you were telling us about that last time you were in. Marion's deck is doing really well. Basically, Canada Post is like the only game in town for packets in the size range that I send. So even if they get their strike shit sorted out immediately, even if they get it sorted out, even if the strike ends tomorrow, we're going to be, for every day of the strike, we're looking at 2 to 3 days of additional delay while they get caught up again. It's like, well, wait a second. And then that's right up. That's, I don't know if that's including or not including seasonal delays. So it's like, you know what? Everybody's freaking out. Don't blame them. So I'm just, you know what? I don't have to do that just yet. So I've got a bunch of these done, right? I've got a bunch of these done. Now I am gonna trim these off while I can. There are so many ways to do this, and like I said, I don't very often. I'm gonna get my scissors going. This is a little floppy and wiggly, and it's like I'm not used to stuff that's moving around this much. So anyway, like I said, I'm taking the long way around. I can happily listen to you telling the story of watching paint dry. Lisa does the same thing. If Lisa's not feeling well, I will literally just start telling her about some ridiculous thing. Oh, by the way, yada yada yada, and she was just like, "Oh." Anyway, so it's not okay for me. For me, it's a minor inconvenience. It's an annoyance. It's whatever. It's not that big of a deal. For other people, they're panicking over how they're going to pay their fucking rent this month, how they're going to buy groceries. Where's my kids' Christmas? How am I going to buy my kids a Christmas present? And it's like, you know what? I am doing myself. And this is my personal belief. This is kind of related to my personal ethics. It's like I can afford to step aside, and I can afford financially. I can afford to take the month off. Sassy Dragon, and like I said, I'm not going to apologize for there being a profit for Lisa and I over this. So Sassy Dragon doing as well as it did gives us the extra money, so that even if there was a possibility, it's like, oh hey honey, this came up, can you pay for it? Well, no, my shop is down. My shop's down for the month, remember, but we do have the Sassy Dragon money. So if there's even a moderate chance that something might happen, that chance has now been taken away. And I have a bit of a personal ethic that says, if you can afford to step aside for the sake of somebody else who's in a greater position of need, you probably should. Like, how easy is it that me taking a vacation might ease up the load on the other services that everybody's panicking to get signed up with, and make it easy for somebody, a little easier on somebody else who does need the money. So it's like, I'm just going to stay the fuck out of the way. Does not make me the big fucking hero. But anyway, no, I do think like that. And it's like, I do not need to insert myself into the middle of this. So I got a bunch of these. Now I need to go. I'm going to go one of these. I don't need, for every two of these, I need one. I only need 5 of these. So one of these. I'm going to go 1 and 1. I'm going to go 1 and 1. I'll do a bunch. I mean, I've got a bunch to do, right? I'm going to do a bunch of these. I'm just going to go back. Okay. I'm going to go back and forth, because if I try and guess and end up doing this many of these, then I've only got a few left. I'm just kind of trying to keep them. I'm going to try and go back and forth so I can keep them somewhat even, so I can, ideally have kind of sort of, once I get the first one of every row is 2 of these and 1 with the black in the middle. Then after that, it's 1 and 1 to the end of the row to make the pattern that I want to make. So yeah, I don't know. I do know, but this is okay. This is another FAFO pattern, right? I'm not actually working with a pattern or from a book that says do 27 of these, do 15 of these. So, I'm just taking off the little, after you use these for a while, you get a little bit of extra threads on them. There's a garbage pail under there somewhere. Anyway. Like I said, I'm mostly just babbling to talk, because I haven't had a chance to talk to anybody except for my wife for a few days now. We spend way too much time at home. So anyway, that's where that's sitting at. I am gonna kind of separate these a bit, because I don't want certain ones like those. I don't want those all only being on the same. Oh no, it doesn't matter. It won't matter. Anyway, yeah. So I'm shutting down for the entire. I'm gonna shut down for the entire month of December. Logistically speaking, I don't need to be. I don't need the stress, because if it's like financially, I'm not. What the fuck did I just do? I don't need the stress. I don't need the drama, so I'm not going to do it. They're not sorted out yet. There aren't enough women in charge in the world. Oh my God, no. Okay, so when it comes to the Canada Post in Canada, there's been more than enough mistakes on both sides of the problem. So there's been more than enough mistakes. Okay, I'm not even going to try and, this is all scrap. What I just did. I could fake it and pretend that that's actually the front, but I put this on backwards. Come on, get up there, you. I put it on backwards because I let myself get distracted. Oh, that's a black. Anyway, no, they haven't sorted it out yet. As a matter of fact, they just announced that they're taking a break from the mediations because even the special mediator can't find solid ground. Even the special mediator cannot find common ground. So it's like, oh, lovely, 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 lovely. Anyway, like I said. No, I just figure I'm just going to sit down, relax, not worry too much about it. I'm going to let the universe decide what happens next. But I did decide that even if the strike ends tomorrow, I'm still going to take all of December off. Every now and again, I'm not some big major manufacturer here. Every now and again, I will have a week with 0 sales, and those weeks always happen around Christmas. So it's like, there's no point. There's no point in me agonizing. It's already my slowest time of the year. It's already my slowest time of the year. It's already the time of the year when a package is most likely to be severely delayed or even get lost. The only time I've ever lost a package in the mail was like I think I've been lucky. I've been lucky. I think I've lost 2 or is it 3 Christmas time. So it's like, you know what? I do not need to be in the middle. I do not need to be in the middle of this. I don't need the money. I might as well make way for the people who have no choice but to be in the middle of this shit. So yeah, a whole lot of that. But even if they reopen tomorrow, for every 1 day of postal delay, they're saying to expect 2 or 3 additional days of delays and other issues as we go into Christmas, because Christmas is the worst time for them to go on strike. And okay, if January comes and goes, and there is still no resolution, then I may make the decision. I hate this. Every now and again, you get one that is hard to tell. Just get it up into a good light. And the easier you can see the. I don't know if this will let you. The easier you can see the weaving, the more likely it is that you're looking at the back, unless it's a batik, of course, because batiks just exist to fuck with you. I shouldn't say that. I like batiks. I really like batiks. And there's a dog snoring under there. So yeah, so I'm just gonna wait. If January, okay, I'm gonna wait. Me going to another. I've been enjoying your YouTube readings. Oh. So I am just gonna wait it out. Because right now, even if I look at that one, isn't that one cute? Even if I try to switch up to something else, they're experiencing really bad delays because of everybody else that has to switch. And so they are experiencing delays to the point where their businesses are having problems. I forget which one it is. I think it's FedEx. Apparently, if you sign up for a FedEx account, a representative calls you, phones you, and says, "Oh, welcome to the team, blah, blah, blah. I'm your rep if you need any help." And very, very nice, very polite, very friendly service, right? They're so overwhelmed that they're not doing that now. They just are sending out emails. And that's somebody was telling me, apparently it's something that they've never had to do before. Anyway, that is the drama of my week. But no, I figure I'll let the universe take care of me. The universe must want me to have a week. The universe must want me to go on vacation. Coincidentally, the same month as my birthday. So there's that. It's like, oh, okay. I guess I get a birthday month this year. Anyway, that's it. That's my big news. Lisa hasn't been feeling well, so we did not do a wrap party on the deck, which is it is what it is. Lisa's health is more important. So that happened. postal strike. It's annoying. Everybody's, like my group is blowing up over it. So there's that. I know I've got more than I need here. Okay. Oh, I forgot to bring over the ironing board. Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah, mine's the 14th. My birthday is the 14th. Don't send cards. I won't get them. Well, yours is the 3rd. Nice. Oh, another December. Who all has a December birthday? Okay. We're just going to go over here. 20th, 17th. I had a cousin whose birthday was December 20th. December 5th, 22nd, 24th. Oh my God, this is like the December birthday club. There's only 13 of us here. Wait a second. 24th, 22nd, 20th and 17th, 5th, 17th. That's like 6 people. Me making 7. This is like the December birthday. Who's not in December? Whose birthday is not in December? My God, no wonder we all get along so great. We're all Sagittariuses. Sagittariuses. Oh, I should. Okay. I fucked up. I didn't fuck up. When you are, people call this chain. Look what I ended up doing. People call this chain piecing. And when you're chain piecing, if you keep everything lined up properly, then you can just go. But I've got black. So I'm going to have to make sure I double check. The next piece is from the color only pile. And so I'm going to have to make sure they go on the opposite side of the black. So I'll have to be flipping things back. It's not going to hurt anything. I'll just have to pay more attention. Happy birthday, December birthday people. My father was Christmas Day. Yeah, my birthday is December 24th. My father's was December 29th. My sister's is December 27th. My best friend for years and years and years, hers was also December 27th. I've got a cousin who is December 20th. December. So springtime. Wait. What is 9 months before December? January, February, March. What's March? March is So now we know how everybody got through the winter. Now we know how your parents got through the winter. Celebrated the fact that winter was over. Okay. March. So, yeah, this is going to be a pain. This is going to be a pain in the ass because I didn't do this right. It's not the end of the world, but it's going to be a pain in the ass because I have to. See, that one's on that side. This one has to go on this side. It's not the end of the world, but Valentine's Day. Yeah. Okay, so now we know what mommy got daddy for Valentine's Day, kids. God, I'm disgusting. I can't help it. I'm being lazy about backstitching just because I can get away with it, but oh yeah, because February 14th. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that goes that way. There we go. Oh, I'm over here sewing away. Haven't moved the camera for you guys yet. We actually worked it out because our anniversary was in March. Get those out of the way. Maybe I'll stop moving this. Oh, I'll keep moving it around. I am literally not. Okay, 3. There we go. Okay, now I'm all caught up to myself. Basically, you should be, if you're going to chain piece where you just, okay, I'm chain piecing. I'm keeping everything sewn together, right? If you're going to do it that way, because it can be a lot more convenient, and it can be a lot more convenient and quicker once you get the hang of it. If you decide that you're going to chain piece, pay attention to what side you're sewing things onto, because then when you have to sew the next piece in, you're not going to be having to flip things back and forth, because now I can just make a big chain of it. I wasn't paying attention because the first one obviously was super simple. Yeah, but you know, now we know, but we've confirmed since everybody's born in December, we've confirmed that they've only ever done it once. I am making a quilt. I have taken a whole bunch of scrap. I'll be able to show you in just a second, but I'm making a quilt, and what I'm doing is I've got straight pieces here that are just random colors. These pieces have black in the middle. You know what? I'll finish it, and then I'll finish what I'm on. Then I can show you exactly what I'm doing. Shayla's new favorite spot is, I threw some blankets down. I'll bring the camera around just a second. When I'm not chatting with you guys, I'm usually on there's Shayla. That's her favorite spot. And she's snoring, like really loudly snoring. So I usually, you know, if I'm over here doing basic sewing like this is, I'll have my headphones on, crank the tunes, do whatever, right? I'm going to intentionally put this one on sideways to break it up. You guys aren't going to see it with the way the cameras are. Oh, maybe the lighting will shift a little bit. Yeah, this one here is really dark, but I want to use it anyway. So I'm going to intentionally put it on upside down. I'm going to intentionally put it on that way so that the brightness breaks up, so it doesn't look like I've got an extra large piece of black in there. It's not a rule. It's not something anybody has to do. Anyway, there we go. This is just on a single. Piece of thread, so it can flip back and forth on its own. And I'm not even 100% sure what direction. Oh no, I know. Yeah, I'm not even 100% sure what direction these are going to end up coming out to. Whoop. So now that's going to have these two the same. So I'll just put it to the bottom of the pile. Grab another one. Funny thing about working with scrap for a lot of people is that because doing something like this where everything's like super random can actually, like, Lisa doesn't do random. She does not like it to be random and out of order and all that other stuff. Makes her just a little bit twitchy. So yeah, postal strike is my big news. So I'm still sewing for the shop. I've actually managed to get a lot of stuff done. I'm sewing stuff for the shop so that when the shop starts back up, I'm not going crazy. So it's like, you know what? I'm not going to go crazy for the shop. So I have a feeling that this month I'm going to focus on some fun projects that I've been putting off. I've tried 8 times to start a quilt, but it makes me anxious. You know what the best? There's always, where there's a will, there's a way, but there's always somebody with a system. Basically, you have to, if you're already skilled and confident and comfortable with sewing, then you can get away with a whole lot of stuff. But if you're not, then yeah, you have to find something that makes sense first. This one here is going to take longer than because what I would usually do, like, you could take a quilt and just sew fat quarters together, sew a bunch of fat quarters together, trim them all up, trim it all up to a square, finish it, and that's a quilt. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be one of the quilts I'm making this winter is a cheater quilt, which I love. I like to use pre-made panels, and I'm going to be using that. I'm going to be using the glow in the dark panel to make a cheater quilt with that. Now, get that out of the way. Ugh. Now, this. So what's going to happen here? Let me just get the camera back lined up. For anybody who doesn't, for anybody who hasn't been paying attention, because you know, I'm not paying attention. So this is going to go like that. That's going to go like that, and that's going to go like that. And we're going to have a square, and we're going to take that one out. The only reason why I'm taking that one out is because these two are the same. So we're going to put, nope, that's the wrong pile. So we're going to do that. Those two are the same. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't really matter. This is why I'm going to be doing, this is why I'm going to be, there we go. We'll put this guy in. So that's going to be like that. So that's going to get sewn together, right? That's going to get sewn together. That's going to get sewn together. And then we've got 8 with black in the middle, right? Now the next one, I'm not going to do identical patches like this. The next patch, and I'm going to go the rest of the way across the fabric. It's going to be like that. There's your black in the middle, right? Then that one. Then I'm going to go there. There's your black in the middle. And then that one. And I'm going to keep going until I have my first. Now I'm probably going to switch these. Yeah, I'm going to switch these because these are all the same, right? I don't care if one's the same, but I'm going to go, oh, and then I'll do that. And then we'll just go. It's okay. It's okay if some of the patches like this, these here are both really dark, right? That's okay for that to happen once in a while because I'm trying to use up scrap. And if I don't like the way that looks, then I can just take that one. Well, there's one. Nope, it's got the blue in the middle again. There's one. Nope. And I can just do that. So I'll just keep going. So now the camera's making this look brighter than what it is, but black, black, black. So you start off with that. So basically you can do it like that. Do that, then that, right? You go all the way to the end, and then it doesn't matter which end you started it. Once I get to the end, I finish the row with just one like that, and then that's what you end up with, right? So if I want more, I just add 2. So I'll be adding in 2s so that everything can be like that. That's all I'm doing. Except, so this is actually a 1-in-1 ratio. This is 1-in-1, except I need 1 extra for the end of each row all the way down. I have no idea. So now I can go every other. So I've got a lot of ironing work coming up to get all this ironed. So these I'm trying not to worry too much about. The only thing I'm worrying about on these, I get that there was some doubling up, but as I get a bigger, as I make more, that's going to happen less. So I've now got. Let me just double check my width. Don't forget to always take off seam allowance. So these are 3.5 inches. So these are going to be 3 inches. I want it to be 60 inches. That means I need 20. I need 20. Well, I need 15 each of these per row plus 1 to finish the end. Morning, the status of my cloth and bag and all the lovely things. Yours are done. Oh, your cloth is done. Your cloth is done. The cloth is done. The bag is only going to take me a few minutes to do. It's not going to be a big deal. It's on the list. Oh, I don't have the size of the bag yet. I got to check with Lisa. I got to double check with Lisa on what size of bag. You said you wanted you said you wanted your size to be, I'll look it up in the messages, but yeah, the bag doesn't take long and I've got the fabric, so that's not a problem. I just can't do anything with it because I can't put it in the mail. So that's the big problem, was waiting for this fucking strike to be over. Okay, so now, what? Do you know what size bag you need? Phases and Forest Oracle. Standard. The Moon Phases fabric. Yeah. Phases and Forest in the box. In the box is a large, I believe. Unless anybody here has the Phases and Forest Oracle and has an idea off the top of the head what kind of a bag, what size of bag you might need. I've got to do a quick little pee right back. Well, and blow my nose. Yeah, I was just checking to see if there was. I had that deck from Kickstarter, but embarrassingly, I haven't had the time to use it. Life always takes over. I have lost track of the number. Okay, now I'm concerned because I don't know if I have enough. I already know that I'm going to be cutting more. Oh, you know what though? I've got my this was all cut. Do you all sew? I just come to Peggy's Lives to hang out and have a chat. It's not required. It is absolutely not required to sew, Marion. I think it's that whole thing. You ever watch cooking videos for things that you have no intention of making? I think that's why everybody's here. I think that's what everybody likes about hanging out. But no, absolutely no requirement to actually sew. I just, there are a few people who are curious or considering maybe taking up sewing. So I always, I don't sew currently, but I'm mad about textiles. Yeah. I just always make it a point of saying what I'm doing in case anybody has questions or is doing whatever. And there's a couple of people, Gail and Linda, both sew. So I'm always ever hopeful that if I'm making a critically, food is my middle name. Yeah. I'm always hopeful that if I make any critically stupid mistakes, that the people in here who do so will let me know. So there's always that. But no. No, mostly just the chat. And I think everybody here, I don't think anybody here is not. Is there anybody here that's just hanging out and isn't from Tarot Land? I think everybody here is from Tarot Land. Tarot tubes. We need to come up with an actually official. We need to find an officially sanctioned word that describes people from the tarot community who are also. I mean, tarot tube sounds good, but maybe we could do better. So, can you imagine? We walk around to all the other channels out there and go, we have decided that the officially sanctioned online tarot community is now called. That'd be a hell of a movement to get behind. But no, we're just here to chat. We're just here to chat and keep me company while I do shit. That is the only purpose here. But I also if I try, well, actually, no, that's fine. So I may have to yank out my IQ quilt in a bit and get more of the 3.5 inches done. God knows I've got enough scrap for that. I sent Linda and Tammy big envelopes of scraps. Still have, well, actually, I got rid of almost everything on the last round, but I sent Linda and Tammy a big box of stuff, and I still have all the stuff that I've set aside that to cut down for my own stash of stuff. I think I made a revolution just by doing that shit talking deck that I just did. Yeah, I've probably caused enough trouble for one lifetime, so it's fine. It's absolutely fine. So I got to be nice. Lisa's not feeling well. She's fine, by the way. She is fine. She was just cough. The sinus. She mostly just had a head cold. So there's that. Oh, I did so. Oh, I'm sorry. I just meant recently. You missed out on the most recent stuff. I went ahead and I cleaned out a bunch of scrap and then immediately built up another pile of it. But that's okay. I'm going to get my Aki quilt out probably in the next few days, because now that I've got time to now that I've got time, like I said, I'm taking the entire month of December off because honestly, I'm kind of stuck with Canada Post. If the strike goes on for too long, or they're going to jack up their prices. I don't have a choice. We know that they're going to we know that the minute this strike is over, prices are going up, and probably by a significant amount. So Amelia lost her voice, and it's funny because she's squeaking like a mouse, and her classmates have been calling her Pipsqueak. Yeah, you know what? That's what we were concerned about. That's always the concern when somebody's not feeling well. She just did. What was the glitter and gators? She did glitter and gators with Danny, and by the time she was done, her voice was starting to show. But she's fine. Sore throat for a couple of days. Mostly it's just a head cold. She got to take a couple of days off work because she was just really uncomfortable. But because you're coughing, you're hacking, chugging fluids, so you're in the bathroom every 5 minutes. Good chance. Please tell Lisa that I caught her old empathic shielding video yesterday. It really helped me. Oh, nice. Yeah, I like the good old gray rock method. Lisa's very empathic, so she I think I'm empathic, but there's two ways to be empathic. There's being aware of other people, and then there's taking it on. And a lot of people that are empathic, I think, okay, we all have an awareness. Every single person has an awareness. Like where Lisa's concerned, where Lisa and the boys are concerned, I'm very empathic, obviously, because I'm closest to them. But one of the hardest parts about being empathic is, for some reason, you've just been gifted with this natural ability to not only recognize what they're feeling, but to feel it with them, and that can be a good trait to have. If that can be a good trait to have with some people, it can be a very harmful trait. Not harmful, but it's not helpful if you're empathic to the needs of a narcissist. Like, that makes it worse. Yeah, very spongy. I think okay, I'm not trying to imply that men don't have empathy, but I do think that women are more hardwired for empathy. Which, again, when you're in unhealthy situations, makes it worse. Like, if we didn't have empathy, how would we ever recognize when our babies are hungry? You know, like, I think we are just by nature hardwired for it. I'm gonna do a whole bunch of these. I'm just gonna keep going. Yeah, it can be draining. I think one of the problems that we see is that people who are naturally empathic, especially if you are naturally empathic and the kind to wear your emotions on and to project your emotions, like, you know, like Lisa's a very heart on her sleeve type person, right? And so if you're an empathic person who is also if you're an empathic person and you're also a very easy read, then you become candy to it. You become candy to all, you know, we always say narcissist, that's the blanket term, but we become candy to the toxic people. Oh, wow. Before that, I was like a sponge and had no idea why I was ill all the time. Yep. I always focus on the idea of shielding being a mirror. It's like, hey, if this shield is nice and shiny and reflective, then whatever, let their intentions come back to them. Seems to work really well. Okay. You ever have that tickle and you want to do that really heavy snurf? So I'm fighting that right now. There we go. I can do this. Just a second. There we go. Yeah, empath heart lives on your sleeve. You know, and I always say it so matter of factly, and I never mean it matter of factly, but it's like when you're an empathic personality that has their heart on your sleeve, you might as well have a bullseye on your forehead sometimes, and it makes it hard. It makes it hard because it makes it easy for the toxic types that are going to take advantage of you. That's exactly the trait that they're looking for. So you end up getting thrown into hard mode. Ow! Yeah, it's bedtime. It's bedtime. See you later, Stevie. Is this a new channel for you? I'm not sure why you're not modded. Come on. Whoa. No. That goes quiet. Well, that's why. Wrong. Okay, wrong one. I've got 2 accounts. Well, I've got more than 2 accounts. Every channel has to have its own account. There we go. There we go. That's fixed. There we go. Yeah, it's because you have to deal with the worst of human behavior, so they have to protect themselves in order to do the best job they can. Yeah. Oh my God, you know what? It's fun. It's fun. I don't know if fun is the right word, but it's like, oh yeah, cops are this, cops are that, and it's like the shit that they have to go through on a daily fucking basis just to deal with the shit that is humanity. Considering what cops have to go through, this whole idea that cops are corrupt and cops are this and cops are that, the reality is that considering what the average cop has to go through on a day-to-day basis, it's a wonder there aren't more of them like that. Because that has got to be the most demotivational job in the world when people would rather think, don't cut it. You know, just by virtue of being a cop, so many people automatically assume that you are the worst that humankind has to offer. And it's like, nope. Yeah, I learned to shield myself, to protect myself from the people around me since I was little. That's kind of what I ended up doing. That's kind of how it was like for me. Lisa and I talk about that because I just but just by default. Come on, down there. So now I've got to, now I'm just doing that. Yeah, freak, weirdo, too sensitive. Well, of course, because some people are just assholes. Okay. I got to keep these 2 kind of separated because I don't want to get the black centers mixed up with the other ones, but now the next row after that's going to be interesting because, oh, actually, maybe it's not going to be too bad at all. Now, what I've got to decide that I want to do is that when I start to do the next row under, will be easy. Okay. Come on. Everything's all tangled up in a ball. Now, I'm debating. There's a part of me. And if Gail's still in, maybe she can tell me whether I'm being, hey, Moira, how you doing? Maybe Gail, I think, Gail, you're a quilter. I hope Gail's. I am debating because I am not agonizing about perfect points. This is just get her done. Let's just get her done and get that scrap used up. And with that in mind, if I just go, 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 and then quilt after. Am I fucking this up beyond all common sense? I don't know. I don't know. Whoops. Get these back over here. I'm going to be getting this out sooner than I think. This is actually okay. This is going faster than I thought it was, but the good news is that I've got this in 3 sizes. I've got this in 2 other sizes that I'm working on. Get that in there. Yeah, neurodivergent empaths surrounded by abusive narcissistic sociopaths didn't stand a chance. Yeah, Lisa definitely surrounded by all kinds of problematic people. I don't think you should. Lisa went through a lot of that. Oh, I'm so broken. I'm so this. I'm so that. And it's like I'm not trying to belittle her experience. I'm just trying to get to the point. When that's you can become. It's called a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you can become your own worst enemy. And you have to learn to change it from, instead of I didn't stand a chance, to say my childhood didn't stand a chance. And it's kind of that crappy thing. It's like, okay, now, life put you on hard mode, and that really sucks. But you can end up keeping yourself there by telling yourself you can end up self-sabotaging even when you don't think you are. Okay, so this, I'm not even sure if I have enough. I'm not sure if I have enough. Okay, I know I don't have enough for an entire blanket, but I do if I'm going to adjust my expectations and make a smaller blanket. I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. By the way, when you're doing this, even when it seems simple, even when it seems super simple, never be afraid to go grab the pins, because the reality is that I used to have to pin everything every time. Practice, eventually you'll get to the point where you can just slap 2 pieces of fabric together and sew, and that'll be fine. But first you need to practice. You got to practice your way to it. Yeah, I'm just debating on. Oh, good, Artie. Yeah, I'm debating. I'm debating on what I'm going to make. Basically, I've got this in the next size up, right? And then I've got this in the next size up. So I'm going to get all of this stuff sewn up. I'm sewing everything up the same way. What the heck am I doing? That's not good. I'm sewing everything up the same way so that I can do those squares, right? And I'm debating, I can get the tape measure out and do a bit of math, and that's not going to be a problem. Getting the tape measure out, doing the math is fine. It works. It's fine. I'm just debating on how scrappy I want it to be. Like I said, right this second, quilt after you add the batting. Wait. Yeah, fabric and I are not at the slapping together stage. Pins are definitely essential. I missed what you said, Marion. Oh, quilt after you add the batting. Yeah. So this is just the top that I'm. This is going to be the top. Then I add the bat. Then I have the batting, and then I have the back. So, and I will tell you right now, adding the batting, and adding the back are 2 of the quickest parts of the process. Oh, I still got thread in my bob. I'm checking my bobbin because it's almost out of thread. Like I'm a big fan of. What the hell did I do? That's what I did. I just absentmindedly dropped everything off over there. Yeah, there's not enough left. But that's fine. I don't need. Okay, I already knew up front that I needed to swing back and cut more squares. I figure if I don't get this started, if I don't get this started, I'm not going to get it started. That's kind of what this one's all about. And like I said, I'm taking all of December off. I am 100% going to be doing extra stuff for the shop. And I've already got a bunch of extra stuff done for the shop. I'm going to be doing that. But if that's the only thing I do this month, whoops, that's not lined up properly. Another reason why people pin is because sometimes you can line your fabric up, and then by the time you've moved it out of your clumsy fingers to the machine, it's shifted. This just shifted a little bit. Not the end of my world. It's not the end of my world, and I'm not focusing on. It's not the end of my world. I am okay. There's another thing that you can do. There's another thing that you can do when you're sewing your fabrics together, right? Ideally, you want to line up. Ideally, you want to line up that with that and get that perfect corner, right? But if you're like, okay, I've got this part done, and I'm afraid of this part, then just offset everything. Offset it intentionally. And then just keep going. And then you'll get it done. Then you'll get her done. Because the first few quilts, the first few projects, I would suggest don't do anything huge and focus on getting it done versus getting it perfect. Because even if I do not get perfect, and I probably won't get perfect points. Even the unless you're entering a contest, even professional quilt, even people who quilt constantly. Nest those seams. Yep. Okay, Gail's back. I have a question for Gail. How easy is it to get away with not stopping and sewing and ironing all this shit up before I move on to finishing up my squares? How much of that can I get away with? I'm assuming it's nothing, but I'm asking. I don't want to do it. I don't like that much ironing. I try to save all my ironing for all at once. And I can get a fan going and do whatever, because it can get, there's no window behind me. So with no window behind me, if I have a lot of ironing to do, it can get really hot back in this corner, which is the cost of doing business. I knew what I was getting into when I started. Okay. Well, I've got. Okay. I need like. Yeah, nesting seams is pretty easy. Nesting seams is where you have your seams, and it'll be easy to do because of the way I'm doing this quilt. Nesting seams is where you put your seams together in such a way so that the top one seam goes in that direction, one seam goes in that direction, so that when you nest them, it really helps you get those corners lined up. I say you're going for a scrappy, you're good, especially since I know you got a good sense for the tension and tat, and that when you're sewing, it'll be fairly consistent. Okay, we've all seen you sew bags. Yeah, I don't like. Oh man, Marion, I will send ironing down to Florida for you. Don't they have an ironing board in the hotel room? Explain that at the border, eh? Hybrid question. What tarot cards represents this? Get her done, and don't worry if it's not perfect. Ooh. That's an interesting one. Okay. I've got a ton of those. Not very many of those. I already know that for this size, I definitely need to cut more. I'm just thinking that if I don't mind ironing. My God, everything I make gets ironed at least twice. Even the bag, even the drawstring bags. I don't iron the drawstring bags when I'm finished with them, because they're just going to be getting put into an envelope, but even they get ironed twice before I put them together. No, once and a half. I'll iron them as I'm cutting the fabric. Make sure I'm getting good cuts. Depends on what I'm doing. And then iron them again before I baste them together. Okay. Yeah, this is going to turn out right. Yeah, I think that would be the Fool. The Fool. What about the Nine of Cups? Nine of Cups is like, yeah, this is good. This is great. Nine of Cups, you're kind of like, I know Nine of Cups is all about, like, well, Nine of Cups is like, yeah, you're awesome. This is awesome. This is amazing. So wouldn't that be about appreciating it? Appreciating it for what it is, not for the perfection, not for any perceived idea that it should be perfect. Whereas Nine of Cups more about, this is perfect, awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm going to hide or get a PA, yeah. Yeah, you're going to be busy. See, so ironing might give you something to do while you're hiding in your room. Okay, now I'm thinking, like, what would it be like if I sent down big pile of fabric? If it wasn't such an expensive joke, it would be funny. Yeah, being satisfied with the way things are. Well, that's kind of what yeah, this is good. I don't know. I'm a big fan. Like, okay, like Shayla has her very own quilt down there on the floor. She does not care that it needs some serious repair because it turned into a dog blanket. Shayla does not care what it looks like. She cares that it's a comfortable blankie just for her. This is the problem with doing all of these tiny pieces. There's another size down, 1-inch squares postage stamp, and people make entire quilts with okay, a 1-inch postage stamp. By the time you take your seam allowance all the way down, there are a couple of Virgos going who would probably pay you to send ironing. Oh my God. I don't mind. Well, no, I don't. Ironing just gets hot. It gets hot and uncomfortable. I think if I was in a more physical, okay, I'm physically comfortable. There's no issue there. Like I said, there's no windows in this little corner of the room, and it's already a condo where you can't open windows on the opposite side and get a cross breeze, right? Yeah, the more it smells like them, the more they love it. Oh yeah. Well, the thing is that they always start with, oh, that smells like you. This is awesome. And then after a while, it starts to smell like them, and they go, okay, well, it's mine now. Yeah, this is, I've got a couple of options with this. Maybe I should grab my whiteboard and we can decide. You guys can help me decide. I already know that I need this many no matter what I'm doing. So that's why I'm just getting it done. I've got exactly one piece left. I use that one. Okay. So I need about one of these to one of these. So I'm way off. in what I need, which is fine because the plan is the plan. I need a ton of these. No matter what design I choose, I need a ton of these. Okay. We're going to go back over here. So now, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Something else, by the way. One of the things that teeny tiny piecing, yeah, oh my God, teeny tiny piecing would make me crazy. Okay, one of the things, I'm just going to bring this up close for a second. So one of the things is once you cut these, right, especially if you haven't backstitched, then these corners can start letting go. So if you are sewing these and you know it's going to take you a while, the hell was that? Oh, it's my ruler. I just dropped a ruler. If you are piecing this together, one advantage of chain piecing is that I got a Sassy Dragon update since I've been hanging here. Let me go read it. Oh, I didn't know there was one coming. So the thing is that, you know, oh, backstitch, back. Instead of backstitching, I just kept going straight through, right? One of the ways that I can avoid these corners fraying if I haven't backstitched is to just not cut them until I'm ready to use them. So what you can do is just find somewhere and just hang this up. Hang this up somewhere exactly as is, and then this won't get all frayed to shit. But I know I'm going to be working on it. I know this is the only thing I'm going to work on this week for the rest of the week so that I can get this done, which is why I got ahead of myself. I know I've still got to go over there and cut more. I know I've got to go cut more squares, and I've got a big pile over there that needs to be all cut up. So I'm good to go. Let's get that over there. Back over there. Oh, yeah, it's late for you too. Night, Marianne. Thanks for hanging out. I am not pulling out the quilt right now because it gets noisy and it's behind me and I have to turn my back. And I've got the other two to go. So I'm trying to sort out. I've got a couple of options and I haven't decided what I want to do yet. I'm going to go get my I'm having a non-coordinated day, so I'm instead of using my stitch ripper like I usually do, I'm just getting the scissors in there because it's just working better for me right now. So we get that done. I will clean all this up. So Gail mentioned nesting. I'll show you what that looks like. La 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 la. Oh, 2 for 1. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna let that sit there for a minute. So Gail mentioned nesting the corners, right? So on one of your pieces, basically, ideally you want the everything to go all in the same direction so that when you put them together. So if that's going to go that way, you want this to go this way. Because what nesting is, did I just fuck that up? Yeah, what nesting is you take Nesting is when one set of, nesting was when everything is ironed in such a way, or pressed down, in this case, finger pressed down in such a way, so that when you put it all together, this one, see how it's going that way, right? And this one, oops, is going that way. Let me see if I can just get them all pushed together for starters. Nesting the corners means that one goes that way, and each one goes in the opposite direction. Each seam presses in the opposite direction, so that when you push them together, it helps those corners line up really well. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, it makes the fabric do the work. And I've got the crappiest cameras known to man. Let's see if I can switch over and get a better view. I don't think, because what you want is you want that line and that line, and that line to meet perfectly instead of being offset. So when you nest them, when you push this one over here, it means this side is bumped up a little bit when you push them over. Whichever side you push it to, and it's hard to see, whichever side you push it to means that side is now bumped up a little bit, right? So if you push them in opposite sides, this is never going to look good, because it's really, unless you have a professional camera, whatever side it is, they're bumped up a little bit, so that you can let them snug right together and they'll line up. So this one is actually meant to go here. And I'll switch back over to the other camera. So you can do a trust exercise and just go, or you can get your pin. You can get a pin in here and pin them down. I'm going to do a trust exercise because I've got no patience and no common sense. So let's see what happens. There it is. And let's see. I have no idea. I'm not very good. I'm still learning. I'm still learning to get the nesting and the points done right, because I don't have, this is not something I have to do perfectly for what I already do. This is not something I have to do perfectly for my own sewing. So now I'm just doing the next one I'm doing the next one as I go. What I do doesn't require this step. I don't have to get the points perfect. So I've got fuck all for practice at doing that part. Okay. Get that. Oops. I might just go a little further back. I'm going to go a little further back with the camera. It's not going to be as great a view for you guys, but we're just mostly here to chat anyway. Let's see what I did. Let's see what the damage is. I sew without expecting perfect points. Like I said, I don't have to have very little of what I sew. Okay. I have to have precision in different ways. This goes back to what I've been saying for a really long time now, that different types of sewing requires a slightly different skill set, and perfect points are not a skill set I've needed to develop. So let's see. Woo. Well, I did it right, but I still fucked it up. I got my points. They're perfect, but I put two reds side by side. I don't think I care. I don't think I care if I have two the same side by side. It's too late to care now. So I've got my points where they're supposed to be. Now these are all okay, because I was so busy. Okay, this was entirely a me problem. I was so busy talking about the points that I forgot to double check my fabric. So then the next one, I want the black to be in the center. So the next one has to be up here, right? So then that one goes that way, that one goes that way. And again, they're going to snug the way I want them to. Let's see. I am just currently, at the moment, ironing makes this step easier. I'm just being, okay, ironing makes this step easier. I am just being lazy because I know I can get away with it. This is okay. I know that my biggest one of my biggest things is a tendency towards a little bit of impatience. So I am doing everything I can to learn how to do it the impatient way. Because depending on what I've got going on, I'm happy. Okay. And that one turned out. This one here is, which one? Oh, yeah, this one here. Okay, if you're being super picky, this one here is the tiniest bit off. See how tiny that is? Nobody's ever going to know it. Do not let anybody, and then this all goes that way, that all goes that way. So now, what I'm doing, see, this is, now, here's where I have to stop and figure this out because I've got a couple of choices, okay? I can go, I don't want to use that one. I need to make a lot more of these. I need to make a lot more. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I fucked up and made two the same, but I don't think I care. It looks like it at a glance, it looks like the points aren't matching, but it's just the way the fabric is because the points are matching really well. So that's fine. Now, once I iron this, it'll be fine. Now, here's the thing. I can go black, then color. This is how this is going to look. Okay, so this is how this is going to go. So I've got that. Then I'm gonna add that. Now I can put them together like this. I can go. Oh, that's a black one. So I can do these like I can pair these up, and then just put them in as I go. And I'm still going to have the same thing. I'm going to have that becomes a circle, that becomes a circle, that becomes a circle, right? Now, I can go all the way across, and then I can do the same thing in a bigger size and go all the way across, and then the bigger size, go all the way across, then back to this size, then back to that size, right? And then fill in the rest of the quilt with whatever I want, which is fine. Or, and I just kind of realized this as I was going, or I can, let's get this out of the way for a few seconds and get that back out of the way a bit. Or I can go that, 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 right? And then I can make these into bigger blocks and then do the quilt as you go so that each section stays separate. Then I can have this as its own block, those as its own block, and I can do them all separately and pin them all together. And I just kind of realized that as I was going. But yeah, so this is going to go all the way. This is so right now, right this second, this is going to go all the way across until I get 60 inches of this. Now, don't forget, okay, here's one, right? This is one. And when I sew it, okay, this is one right now. This goes 11. This is 11 inches. Okay. This is 11 inches across. But when I sew it, it's going to be a little over 9 inches because of seam allowances, right? So I need this to be 60 inches across. 9 times 7 is 63. I need 7. Well, I don't need 7. I need to go. Wait, that is, yeah, I need to keep going until I get 63 inches. That's why I did all this other stuff all up. Oh, Night Blue. Oh yeah, by the way, happy Thanksgiving to all you Americans. I totally forgot that it was Thanksgiving in the US. We had Canadian Thanksgiving was like last month. Yeah, that's something else. But Canadian Thanksgiving was last month, but we also do Black Friday this coming Friday, which is another reason why people up here people in Canada that have small businesses like I've got. Most of them are like absolutely livid about what's going on with the postal strike. So that's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. Anyway, so now I just have to I can do them like this, right? And just I can just randomly slap them together in pairs, and then attach them all until I've got 63 inches. So that's one thing that I'm thinking of doing. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do what I was doing because this. Okay, so now when this gets all done, whatever ends up being, I might save these ones. Look at that, I've got 2 of these that are just the deer, and I'm thinking about saving them and doing something fun with just that. Hey, Kaz, how you doing? I'm thinking about saving these 2 to do something fun with just those 2. But see, I've got a bunch of black. I've got a bunch of the color cut out. I know that I do. Okay, I have enough of this, I think, to go across one time. I don't have a lot of variety, so I have to cut up extra stuff for this too. Or I can take some of these and cut them down to that size. I haven't decided yet. I haven't really decided yet what I'm going to do. So this is going to go. I am making a quilt. It's going to be okay. It's going to be really simple. I pieced together one piece so I can remind myself what I'm doing. I'm going to go across. I'm going to start with a block. Like that. That's the starter block. Then I'm going to go. Every other one has a black center, so it's going to go like that, and it's it's going to be completely the fabrics are going to be completely random, but that's the pattern that it's going to build as it goes along, right? And then the next row is going to look exactly the same, but these are going to be bigger. See how these are bigger than those? So the next one's going to be bigger. And I'm going to go all the way across in that. Then the next one is going to be even bigger, right? So it's going to be this one, then this one, then this one, then this one, then this one, and that's going to be the center. And then I'm probably going to put a couple of borders around it. It's really popular in quilting to have your design piece be more or less in the center. That's that. Oh, that's 505. Okay, that's my adhesive spray. It's a non-permanent adhesive, comes right off, but there was a little bit on there. So I'm going to start with this. This is going to be on, or yeah, I've got the most of this. I cut up a whole bunch of this. I've still got a whole bunch of this left. This I could use. This okay. This is going to be used for other things as well. So that's fine. And even though they're all black, there's slightly different shades and styles of black, if you know what I mean. Different textures and tones on the black. So that's going to be an ongoing theme throughout the whole thing too. I am debating actively right this minute. I'm taking all of December off because of the postal strike up here. I already did the long story version earlier. The TLDR version is the strike's already been going on for a week. Everybody who relies on the post office is freaking out, rushing to other services. So those services like FedEx, UPS, all those guys are a shit show now too because their business is doubling. We're going into the Christmas season. I'm just taking Christmas off. I'm just taking December. I'm still going to make stuff for the shop. Even if the strike ends tomorrow, I'm taking December off. because they've already caused enough disruption that it's going to take them weeks to get caught up anyway. And Christmas is one of my slowest seasons. Just because, everybody's busy with family and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Unless you are selling Christmas related items, Christmas is Christmas is the busy season for a lot of businesses. But if you don't sell something that has a very Christmassy feel, it's like you don't buy your kid a swimming pool. You don't buy the family a swimming pool for Christmas, or if you do, you don't start installing it till spring. So anyway, I'm taking all of December off, so I'm making this now. I need to decide: am I going to make the whole quilt? Am I going to do this for my whole quilt, which I can do? Or am I going to do like I said, small, medium, large? Or because I've got a lot of scrap to cut up. Yeah, we all deserve some time off anyway. I'm not concerned. I'm not okay. I'm annoyed because this was a preventable job action. There's enough mistakes made on like there are more than enough mistakes made on both sides, and if they don't get their heads out of their asses, Canada Post, for anybody outside of Canada, especially in the States, for all you Americans, you have the constitutional right to a post office. We don't. So if they don't get their heads out of their asses, then we are not the only country who has a post office that is not sanctioned, not controlled by the government. If they don't get their heads out of their asses, then Canada Post as an entity is going to go bankrupt and have to privatize. They've lost like over $3 billion, which by Canadian standards is a lot of money over the last 3 years alone, and they haven't been profitable in over 7 years. So there's a lot of annoyance, but there's a lot of, the union is blaming the company is blaming the union, everybody's blaming each other, but everybody's at fault. It's a big fucking shit show up here. Anyway, so my Christmas break is to take on a little bit more involved of a project. A lot of my other quilt projects go together a lot quicker than this one's going to, so I can do small, medium, and large, medium, then small, and then put a couple of borders on and finish it, and that'll be nice. Or I can just stick with small, because I cleared out all of my scrap, and I'm back to an entire bin full of it. So I'm debating. I am debating on what to do. This is how I get myself stuck. I'm like, I'm going to do a thing. And then I'm not even going to get past the planning stage. And then I'm going to create some problems for myself. But every other one needs to be like this, which I don't have that many. I don't have that many of them done yet, but I have a ton of these now. I have a ton of, every other one has to have a black in the middle. And then every other one has to be all three colors. So I can make one more of those. So with that in mind, and I've got all of this cut up. I think I will iron it all. I will iron it all just because I should. And it's the right thing to do. Or maybe I won't. I don't know. But now that I've gotten this far, it's like, should I do the whole thing in this pattern or not? It'll look cool. And I'll probably use up way more scrap doing that. You know what? Now that's not, it's gotta be all black, not mostly black. My problem is, I just realized, I don't think this is enough to do an entire quilt. Unless I'll do a lap blanket. I will do a lap blanket. Okay. This is what happens. My God, poor Lisa. I am surprised that she is still willing to live with me, because when I get like this, I will agonize over the same couple things for ever. Come on. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 3 of them gives me a 9-inch block. 2 of them gives me a 6¼ inch. 2 of them gives me 6¼ inches. Let me get some math. I need a math. Okay. Okay, let's do a math. I'm not worried about the length just yet. That's not what I need. Where is it? I need a calculator. Okay. 6.25 inches, well, times 10 is, let's go times 8, is 59. Okay, if I do 8 of these, math, oh yeah, it's all math. So if I go one of these and one of these and sew them together, I will need 8 of these plus that, and I will be at 50. I said this was 9 inches. Pardon me, 59 inches. I want this to be 60 inches. So I need 8 of those. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, so 1, 2. I just need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have it. That's a whole. That's the top row right there. I have the top row. Okay, I have enough for the top row. Right. Okay, so 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Now I still reserve the right to mix and match. I'm just mathing right now. So I got 1. So like I said, one of this all the way across, right? Then 1 of this. Then so I need 2 of these, then 2 of these, and then 1 of these. As they get bigger, I need less. I might have enough. Okay, so there's 8. So let's see now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lots and lots and lots. I got lots. Okay. So I need 8 of these. I need 8 more of these. I need 8 more of these to go with these, and then I have the top and the bottom row. I need a pen. Wait, do I have a... What if I don't have anything in there? Or there. Or there. Oh my God, where's my shit? Aha! Okay, so this is how you FAFO an entire fucking blanket, okay? So that goes there. That can go back here. That can go back here. I did my counting. I did my math. Okay. Now I actually coincidentally have 2 more of these, so I can make 1 of these. I have tons of these, so I'm good to go. Okay. So I need, I need a pen that's not broken. How does that sound? What the hell is going on today? That is, what the hell happened? Okay. The universe wants me to keep faffling and not write things down. I, on the other hand, would like to write things down. Is that it? No, that's not an empty page. Oh, that is an empty page. That's the one I'm on. There we go. Okay, quilt. Okay, so I need, I know, it's like pissing me off. Okay, so I need 8 more of these. So I need 16 more of these cut up. And these are all the same size, 3.5. Now, it's not going to matter to me if I cut more. This is my minimums. These are my minimums. So I need a minimum of 16 multicolor. Three and a half by 3.5 inch pieces. Perfect. Okay. So now, that's weird. It's really cool. I don't know what kind of an ink this is. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. There is a little bit of some sort of a gel right there to make sure that, because it's a very wide open ink. There's a yeah, you can see it now. There's a little area of something. Whether, I don't know if it's a glue or what, to make sure that the ink doesn't leak back out. Isn't that cool? It's kind of okay. Okay, this is one of those things. It's like, I love to see technology, because it probably took some genius years to think of this, and it's like, wow, such a simple solution, right? I love to see simple solutions in action. Okay, so I need a minimums 16 multicolored pieces of that. Okay. Now here's the problem. It's not really a problem, but because I'm FAFOing this, I'm not going to know how much of this I need, because I want my quilt to be a minimum. It's going to be 59 inches, which means that I will do once I get that done and then get everything else added to it, I'll trim it back to like whatever. And I'm probably going to add I'll add some sort of a border to tie it all in together. Like maybe just go around it with a single border of black or something. So I've got what? Now here's the interesting thing here. Okay. So this one. Oh, and that's kind of cool. Now I can just lay that and that together with that and that. Now I have one little packet. And because I already made the first square, it just goes this. Yeah, I think it's really cool to see stuff like that. Okay, so now I'm on to this one. I'm on to this one because this one might be a problem. I'll save the pen for now. I'll save the pen for now until I can find something better. I don't need to worry about the notebook. I keep random cheap notebooks around. Okay, one of the things I happen to know about this one is that I've got a lot of similar fabric in it. I've got a lot of similar fabric, but I already know, okay, that was 3.5. This is 4 3/4. 4 3/4, so that's mean it's going to be 4 1/4. 3.5. That's good. Those are going to be 3. These are going to be 3 3/4. I'm probably going to need like 7 of those. Okay, I know I can do the math. And force it. I know I can do the math and make math my friend. These ones are actually really pretty. And I don't want to waste these ones. Okay, I've been going in circles here. I know for a fact that on these ones, I've got a lot that are the same colors. Look, 1, 2, But now on that one, I had same colors, but I had a much bigger variety within that. I don't think I have on this one. So I may, plenty of black. There's no problem with the black. Okay. There's no problem with the black, but I'm also debating. I need a vote. I need your help. Should I save this for another should I save these deer ones for another project, or just go ahead and sacrifice it to the quilt? I'm debating, because that would look, yeah, I'm saving these two. These two would look stunning. These two would look stunning in a mat or something. I'm debating. What's going on there? Oh, there we go. You ever click something, then click away, and it still looks like it's clicked, and you're like, oh my God, I did something wrong. So now I have to decide what I'm doing here, because they're nearly identical. Oh, they pretty much, yeah, that one's got a little teeny bit of the wing cut off over here. They're nearly identical. This would be nice as a center of a tote bag. Let's take a look. Let's go like this. By the way, sometimes you end up like that, and as long as you know for a fact that your selvage is going to get sewn down as what else do I have? Ooh. That actually looks really good. See? That would look really good on a tote bag. Yeah. I need to save these two. Because even if I just get lazy and just surround it in black, they're going to look really nice. And if I surround it in 1-inch strips, yeah, these two have got to be saved. I'll put them right back there. Maybe that's what I'll do this evening. Okay. So all the black goes there. I don't know if I want to count that as a black or not. Whenever I'm cutting this stuff up, if I'm not 100% sure, I'll keep the piece with the selvage showing. And then when I'm ready to piece it together, if I don't like how it's laying, I'll just, because this is all scrap, right? I would not cut this carelessly if I was cutting it right off. Yeah, save it for something special. If I were cutting this right off the bolt, I wouldn't be this careless, but this was scrap that I was processing. So I got a little careless a couple of times. I'm not going to agonize. If it's really obvious, if it's really obvious, I won't keep it. And what I can do with it, the reason why I didn't cut it smaller and throw it in with the smaller scrap is because I've already got so much black scrap. Anyway, so now I just have to see another piece of that. This is the problem with this particular pile, is because I had a lot, like, yeah, well, that's just one of those, bunch more of those. I'm just doing this to make sure that I have them somewhat separated. Put that over there. Bunch more. One of those. Yeah, see, look, that little bit, that is such a narrow piece. There's no way. I would have to be incredibly bad at sewing to have any of that white showing through. Oh, that's another one. This one's got a nice little lake in it. But you know what? I'm going to put that one. I'm putting that one in because I've got a ton of that one. This one. Lots of different stuff in this one. And lots that's the same too. Yep, again. I don't care if there's duplicates. Again, to remind you guys and to remind myself. As a matter of fact, I'll put that pile back on there. That one goes there, that one goes there. Put that one. Nope, that's too close. Come on. Go there, go there. It does not have to be perfectly mixed. I just don't want it to be, I don't want to come up with, I don't want to have all this yellow in the same spot, right? Oops, forgot about that one. That goes over there. That's more blue. Oh, the blue can go there. Do. This is a different shade of yellow. I don't care if they're different. It's not really showing on camera, but these are really different shades. Yeah, there we go. Different shades and different styles. One's more lines and one's more not lines. Okay. Drop some yellow in there. I want it to stay as random as possible. Oh, a couple of blues there. I mean, I don't know why I'm agonizing this much about it though, because I've already got two of the same color on the same block. The very first block that I did, I might just do extra and not bother doing that there. So that's that. That's that. Hey, if I was smart, I would have been counting. I have less of this. It's already 20 after 4 though. So I got to like check on the wife. She's still not feeling the greatest today. So I think I'm going to get going now. She's still at work, but I'm sure that she's going to come. I'm sure that she's already staring at that clock going, got to shut my computer down right now. Which, to remind everybody, in case anybody's just wandering in, Lisa hasn't been feeling well, but she is totally fine. It's more of an annoyance than anything. Like it's that head cold. You're blowing your nose. You're super fuzzy and sleepy, but she's fine. She never once developed a fever, so we're not looking at anything that's even remotely scary. You know what I'm going to do this time? I'm going to count. I got lucky on the first one. I got lucky on the first one that I managed to end up with the right amount in the right proportions. I'm going to count. I'm going to measure and I'm going to count. So 3.5. Do. Yeah, so 2 of these is going to be, let's just sew them together and find out. I'm not, okay. I'm not concerned about the height because most blankets are rectangular anyway. So if it ends up being like 60 wide, well, it's going to be the same. It should be a square. It should be a square when it's done. So, but if I want to make it longer, I'll just add like 2-inch border on the sides, 4 or 5-inch along the top and bottom. Hey Trish, how are you? Your timing blows, Trish. I was just about to start saying my goodbyes. I am making I just ran out of bobbin. I am using that one up. I got a little bobbin that doesn't have a lot on it right now. I am making a quilt, and what I'm doing, I'm making a quilt. What I'm doing is, come on. I didn't even put my leader on it sewed properly. So what I'm doing is, I'm making squares using scrap. I've got small pieces, medium pieces. I've also got larger pieces. So I'm going to go I'm going to do 3 by 3 squares. I'm going to go all the way across the top in this. I'm going to go this size, then this size, then the bigger size, then this size again, then this size. And we'll see what we come up with. Depending on how it lays out this way, I may either, because I get to do this, right? So if it's wider than it is tall, I may turn it sideways and do a quilt that goes this way. And then it will be left, left, middle, right, right. Or I'll go up and down. I'm probably going to end up going left, left, middle, right, right. And then I'm going to turn it into a blanket. I'm going to do it regular style. There it is. So I am just right now about to do the math. So that is, that's going to be 8 3/4 inches. 8 3/4 inches times 9 times 8 is 72. 8 times 8 is 64. I'm going to be doing 8. I'm going to be doing this 8 times. It's going to be all the way around, making squares. I'm going to make squares, go all the way around. But yeah, so I need 8 of those. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to be doing, I am making a quilt out of all that scrap. I don't know how big it's going to be yet. It's probably going to be 60. Okay, it's going to be 60 inches. It's going to be 60 inches in the one direction. So if it's, oh, wait. It's going to be 60 inches by, that's going to be 3. 60 inches by 11. Let me get this one done. I'm gonna math the shit out of this. Here's the thing: when you're measuring for quilting, you always have to take into account the seam allowance. You always have to take into account your seam allowance. Oh wait, so I can do the seam allowance. Okay, so I can do this is a. I'm doing math. Who wants to sit through some math? Yeah, so basically, let me pull this back out. Can I do it without making a mess? Bet you I can't. Small mess. So basically, I took my small pieces. I'm doing this, right? So that's going to be 1 square. So I'm going to do, and I'm just going to keep adding to it until it's 60 inches wide, right? Then the next row is going to be these bigger pieces, and I'm going to keep adding to that. So this section is not going to line up perfectly with this section. The next section is also going to be. The next section is going to be the same. Is going to be the same design. Only so I'm doing this all the way across. I'm doing this all the way across until I get to 60 inches, right? Then I'm going to do the exact same thing with the bigger pieces. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing with the biggest pieces. Oh, go to sleep. Go to sleep, Artie. So then I'm going to go small, medium, large, then medium, then small again. So we've got, it's going to be, I'm shooting for 60 inches wide. It's going to be 9.5. So 9.5 by 2 is 19 inches. Then it's going to be 13 inches by 2, 26 inches. Then it's going to be, this is going to be the center, 7.5, 21 inches. 9 times 6 is 15, carry the 1, 16, carry 1, 20, 60. It's going to be 60 inches wide by 66 inches long, approximately. And then from there, so I'm going to have 60 by 66, right? Is this trying to show up? Nope, that's not going to show up. Okay, so I'm going to have 60 by 66. So it's going to be 60 by 66 like that, right? That's what this design is going to look like. So it's going to have the biggest one through the center, then the medium one, then the little one. It's not going to show up. There's no way I can, my drawing ability sucks. And then from there, I'm probably going to put, say, 3 inches of something on the top and bottom. And then I'll put a small border. I'm going to put a small border on it, 60 inches wide. Yeah, it'll be about throw blanket size. Unless I want to continue adding borders, because I can make it any size I want after that. So if it's 60 by 66, I can put 20 inches across. I can put 20 inches all the way around, and then it's 80 by 86, and that's almost a queen size. That is a queen size. So I'm going to do, so this should show up at 60 by 66 when it's done, if everything goes according to plan. And then from there, once that's done, I will pick what size I want the overall blanket to be, and then finish it. So that's what I've got. Just don't forget that when you don't forget, if you're pre-measuring, always take off. Okay. I know that it's probably going to be a little bit smaller than that, because I know that my seams tend to be a little closer to 3/8 of an inch. That extra 1/8 of an inch doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're doing it 15 or 16 times, that's like a good that can add up to several inches when you're done. So always keep that in mind. How do I finish the back of the quilt? I'm not sure what you mean. For this, I would just, I've got some backing I can use. They have what's called wide backs. If you're not, I don't know what you're familiar with more or what anybody else is familiar with. So I'll dumb it down just for everybody's benefit. A wide back fabric, okay, regular fabric that you buy at the fabric store is about 42 inches from edge to edge. Wide backs can go up to 108 inches. And there's even a couple that I've seen there that are even bigger than that. I'll just put this on a wide back. I'll put it on a wide back, pin the shit out of it, and then you line it all up, and I'll be doing it on this machine here. So all the layers together is what you end up doing. Basically the exact same thing that I've already done for, I've done a few tarot mats on camera, and I've done a few tote bags on camera by now. It'll be the exact same thing, but bigger, way bigger. And if I do it right, if I plan it right, I will plan it for when Lisa is at home. Trying to mash a big quilt through a regular size sewing machine can be a pain in the ass, but if there's somebody hanging out on that side, on that couch, finishing it off isn't bad. It depends on how you decide to finish it. But depending on how I'm going to finish it, I can have Lisa sitting right here, and then as I'm pushing it through, she'll be on the other side, just helping make sure that it's not this big giant, pain in the ass to wrestle with. So, but yeah, quilting is fun. Okay, I'll tell you right now, quilting is especially fun on smaller projects because they're easier to manage and manipulate and handle and get through the machine and stuff. If I do this right, I could still do this as a quilt as you go project. And then I would just take this section and do it, and then do my other sections around it. I don't know that I'm going to put that much work into it. I'm taking advantage of the forced vacation from this strike to get some stuff done. So, but yeah, that should be my measurements when I'm done. And I found these two that I still had mixed in with the what size is this one again? 4 3/4 inches. So I'm gonna maybe turn these two in a couple. There's 2 of them, and I'm probably gonna turn it into 1 or 2 small tote bags. Just the little totes. I still need to do grocery bags, but yeah. So that is the project. That's what I'm doing. I'm actually really happy with how much of this I got done, of this stuff. I'm really happy with how much of these I got done today, because I'll tell you right now, it's very daunting When you're used to being able to grab one big piece of fabric and turn it into something, sitting there looking at all these little teeny tiny pieces. Yeah. Yeah, not a blanket. You don't have to do a blanket. As a matter of fact, you can take something like this. I just have a little piece of, there we go. You can take something like this. Okay, like I can take this and then I can just either keep going because I've got these, right? I can keep going and go around and around. You can make this, I could take this. Where is it? I got my camera like all in the wrong spot. I could just take two of these, sew them together, box my corners, and there I've got the outside of a little tote bag. So that's really easy to do. This all I was doing today was just processing this. I haven't actually reached the well, the sewing is the fun part. I was doing this. I wanted every single one of these to be, every single one on the outside to be unique. The very first thing I did was sew these two together. The very first strips that I put together, because I was distracted talking about how to nest your corners and get the good corners going. But no, getting this done, getting this sort of stuff done into tote bags and stuff like that is the easiest way. It's, for me, it was the easiest way to get started. You know what you can also do? What you can also do is add a few more, add two more of these, and you've got a placemat. So take, what do I got? Let me show you. I haven't got time to make one. I gotta get out of here soon. But yeah, like look at that. One more of those. One more of those. And now it's placemat. Look at that. Add a piece of batting to the bag. Do I know how long the strike is going to last? My guess right now is that this strike isn't ending until January. That's my personal guess right now. These guys are, there is, I was just saying this a little while ago, there is more than enough blame to go around as to what's going on. Canada Post and the union have never had a good relationship with each other. And right now everybody's blaming everybody else. Canada Post is losing way too much money. Like they've lost $3 billion in the last like however many years. They have not been profitable. They have not once shown a profit in 7 years, and they do the reports quarterly. So 7 times 4, 28 quarterly reports, and not one showing a profit in 7 years. If the company gives the union what they want, they will lose all public support. If the union gives in to what the company wants, they will lose employee support. Anyway, that's just my overall, feels on the thing. But no, they've got way too many problems. The special mediator that was they assigned a special mediator, not binding arbitration, just a special mediator to help them reach a resolution. Special mediator shut down the talks because they are not coming to it. They are not even willing to talk to each other at this point. So the special mediator is going, oh, they don't want to talk to each other. They don't want to talk to each other. So that's a pain in the ass. Which one's that? There, how we doing now? I should be fine now. I went on to the wrong one. I turned off the one camera because I'm trying to make myself say goodbye. I'm going to work on the rest of this tonight. But they have been in negotiations for over a year, and they're still arguing about the same thing. Neither side trusts the other. The Canada Post and the Canada Post Union have such a long history of not trusting each other, and the things that they're disagreeing on, the union doesn't want to. The union is convinced that Canada Post is I forget what it's a crown corporation. We don't have the same right. We do not have the same constitutional right to a post office like they do in the States. So anyway, it's a pain. It's crazy. Problem is Canada Post. I'm taking the entire month of December off because Canada Post can come to an agreement tomorrow, and the mail is already so far behind because Black Friday is in 2 days. The mail is already so far behind that it's not going to catch up until after New Year's, and I don't need to be in the middle of that shit. And if Canada Post gets back into business tomorrow, they're going to get super flooded. My packages would be really expensive to ship through other couriers, because Canada Post has a government granted monopoly on letter mail, and my packages are small enough to go to ship under categories that are considered letter mail. Anyway, that's kind of getting into too much nitty gritty, too much detail, whatever. But thing is that there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people like me that need to pay their rent, and we don't. We're fine. I mean, this was never supposed to be more than a side gig for me. So we're financially we're just fine. We're totally okay, right? But as soon as the minute Canada Post is back in business, there is going to be so many people rushing to the post office because they're shipping. Okay, my shipping situation is the best affordable shipping for me is Canada Post. There's other people that have bills to pay and can't really ship through other methods that are going to be flooding them like crazy. It's going to be a fucking mess, and Canada Post has already said that even if the post, they've already put out an announcement. Even if the strike were to end today, it's going to take them until after Christmas to get back to normal. So I'm just going to wait till after Christmas and see what happens. If after Christmas comes and goes, where was that? That's where it is. If Christmas comes and goes and they're still not back to work, I may make a decision then, because I have to leave. Etsy will not let you turn off shipping to Canada. If I was shipping just outside of Canada to the States and to everywhere else, oh yeah, it's a fucking mess. If I were in a position where I could turn off, every single person who can up here in Canada has turned off shipping to Canadians, but they're still shipping out of the country, which is where most of you guys are. I don't know. I can't remember where you are, Tricia, but most people who buy from my shop are in the U.S. There's 10 times as many of them as there is of us. So it makes sense, right? So I don't. I could ship to the States. And I could ship to the States right now, and that would be okay. It cost a little bit more, but not by much. And that would be okay. But I can't ship to Canada. I can't afford to ship across Canada because the government said, oh, well, we're going to make sure that. Hi, Francesca. Oh, well, thank you. Peggy bags are worth the wait. I hope this gets resolved soon. I hope I'm worth the wait, obviously. I can afford to wait though. So where I personally am sitting, I'm fine. And for anybody who's like, oh, Peggy's is bullshitting us, don't forget that Sassy Dragon just funded. Like, it's the universe taking care of me, right? Sassy Dragon just funded, and it funded for more than what we were expecting to get. And yes, we are making a profit on this deck. So we're just going to, any of the amounts that we get to keep for us, if we think we need it, we'll set a few bucks aside. But right now, right this minute, we are very much okay. We're financially we're okay. The shop was never meant to be more than a side gig for a few extra bucks. We've always made sure that we didn't have to rely on the money, so we're good. We're doing fine. But yeah, anybody, there's people out there. There's people out there who are wondering how they're going to pay their fucking rent because they do rely on the money. They do rely on the money, but their package, if your package is under a certain size, letter mail or oversized letter mail is the best way to send it. Canada Post has a government granted monopoly on that. So if I want to send a package that I can send across Canada right now for like, if I'm not tracking, even if I am, if a tracked package for me to send through Canada Post right now at the size, because it counts as oversized letter mail, I can send it for about $10, $12 right now. If I were to put that same packet on a FedEx truck, $35. So I was like, I ain't doing that shit. But Etsy, I only sell on Etsy, will not let you turn off shipping to Canada. So it's like, you know what? This is a sign. If this is not a sign from the universe, what is? It's like, okay, so you can afford it. And if you're not sure, if you're going, gee, I'm not sure, it's going to be sad to lose the income. Of course, that makes sense. It's going to be sad to lose the income. Oh, well, don't forget, if that's your concern, just set aside a little bit extra of your sassy dragon money. Oh, yeah, okay. Like, this is the universe telling me not to worry about it. So it's like, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to worry about it. I am not worried about it. I can't, even if I could switch over to another shipper, there's a company called Chit Chats that will let me send packages from Canada down to the States to go straight into straight into USPS. It's a system, right? They immediately, starting a couple of days before the strike started, even, they are so overrun with people like me, with small businesses like this. This counts as a small business, right? They are so overrun with people like me switching from Canada Post to get their shipping down to the States that they're so backed up that they are having problems now too. All the shippers are. So it's like, nope, I'm just going to stay home, stay out of it. I got a bunch of stuff done though. I got, what did I get? I did some large bags. I did some small bags, the drawstring bags. I did large and small drawstring bags. I'm doing, pardon me, pocket pouches. I'm doing pocket pouches. I'm going to be doing some large reading cloths, like the big ones, like the big ones. I got some tarot mats done. I've got some more that I'm going to do. So I'm still doing stuff for the shop. But if that's all I do, if I go, I'm going to build up that shop. There's going to be 1,000 things in it when people come back. Then I'll start stressing again. So it's like, I don't need to stress over this shit. I'm going to make a fucking blanket or two. So I've got this one that I'm making. And then I'm going to do a cheater quilt. I'm going to do a cheater quilt where I just take an entire panel and then I build out around it. And that's going to be my quilt. But anyway, I'm supposed to be saying goodbye. The wife is on her way soon. She's got a bit of a head cold. She's not comfortable, but she's fine. No fever, no complications, no anything that anybody's worried about. What happened there? Da 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 da. See, I took the time to sort out all my fabric, and I still just found I didn't sort in any crazy weird way. I just wanted to make sure. Oh, that's why. None of this stuff. This is from an unsorted pile that was sitting over there. Well, that sucks. See, I gotta cut more of this fabric because there's not very much variety. Not as much variety as I would like to see. So we'll do that soon. But anyway, I'm going to get going so that I can... Lisa's not feeling well, so this is a whatever Lisa wants, Lisa gets day. So I'm going to make sure that I am actually available for that. Yeah, she's not... thanks to the different plagues that are running around these days, it's like somebody starts sneezing. Oh, let's just check you for a fever and do all the things. She's fine. She really is fine. But she's not comfortable. So I am going to make sure that she's got everything that she needs to be comfortable once she's home. So I am going to get going. What the heck? That can go there. I need to stop agonizing over my fucking fabric. I've got a pile of scrap over there that I need to cut up. And then once I get that cut up, I can start on these sizes. I got to do some other sizes. Yeah, she took Monday and Tuesday off of work just because it's, it's uncomfortable and it's messy when you're sitting there blowing your nose every day, all day, right? Like, and just tired because you don't sleep when you got a cough, when you got a bit of a cough, you just don't sleep. So she's just like tired, but she went to work today. She said she was feeling fine. Oh, thanks, Francesca. Francesca. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I thought it was Francesca, but it's a SH, not a CH. That's okay. That's okay. Sooner or later, I might remember how to actually read the entire name before I start trying to pronounce it. I probably won't, though, because I'm horrible as it is. Anyway, I'm going to get going. You guys have a great day. I might end up doing a few more of these, and it's probably smart, just because I'm going to be bored now because I can't make stuff. But I think that's about the only thing. I think I might end up being a little bit more bored over the next month. But like I said, I'm not, even if the strike ends tomorrow, I'm still taking all of December off, and then we'll see what happens from there. But anyway, have a great day, guys. Have a great Thanksgiving to everyone that's in the States, or to anyone else who's celebrating Thanksgiving. Happy shopping for Black Friday, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Hi, Bruno. Hi, buddy. How you doing, puppy?